and all the history books talk about the West, that they're always right, and everyone else doesn't have freedoms and doesn't have rights, which is not true at all. I mean, even the depiction of Arabs and Muslims in Hollywood is always these bad, evil, terrorist people, and we're all jihadis, whatever that means. And that's not true at all. I mean, and they're like, women don't have rights. I have more rights as a Muslim woman than men do. I mean, look here, my hair is nice and flowing. The only reason I'm wearing a long sleeve is because it's cold outside. Yes, we do get cold in the Middle East. We also get snow. Not everything is a desert here. We've got greenery. So all these silly stereotypes just based on making Hollywood bucks and giving you a narrative about Arabs is completely wrong. I mean, it's frustrating and it's annoying, and I now understand my parents' frustration as we were growing up. Not everything that you see or hear is true.
Question though.
Hmm.
You were born in Saudi, you were raised in Aramco, you went to college in Texas. When you left Texas, you went home to Jordan? Had you ever lived in Jordan?
Well, we left Saudi Arabia in 1988. So basically, I was 15 years old. So we moved to Jordan. So I did 10th, 11th, and 12th grade in Jordan. And then I went back to the States for university. I lived here for 3 years before. But I mean, technically, my home is, well, there's no technically. I'm still part of the diaspora. The diaspora is what after in 1948. The Palestinians were expelled from Palestine, and so basically that's diaspora. We traveled everywhere. We were refugees in different countries, and so until today, I mean, there's many Palestinians that aren't living in Palestine, but still, our culture, our history, the way we speak, how my accent even is very different than a Jordanian accent in Arabic. So I can tell a person from Jerusalem versus someone from Hebron versus someone from Jaffa or Jaffa, Haifa. Everyone has a little bit of accent. So Jordanians are closer to the GCC a little bit, but a little bit softer. Lebanese and Syrians are the most like, I don't know how to say it, but twangy in Arabic. Yeah, but not Texas twang, but more, maybe a little bit, maybe you could consider it Southern twang. And so we're a little bit more neutral, but everyone has an accent, so you know where they're from.
Okay.
So even like
So now,
being from Saudi Arabia is different than Kuwait, different from Qatar. Similar words, but they still have a little bit of a different accent.
okay. So now you're back in Jordan. What do you do now?
I've been very privileged. Again, like any typical woman in the United States or in Europe, that is high performing, that has a career with 2 kids, juggling kids and a career and facing all those challenges is the same. I mean, we're not scary, nasty people. We have normal families with normal worries, with, loans or payments or, I think the one thing that's a bit different between, not bit major difference between the West and the East, and especially the Middle East, is the family unit. And so the family unit here is very close. I live with my mother-in-law. That's unheard of in the States, We take care of our elderly. We don't kick our kids out at age 18. So my son will come back and live with us if he decides to. He's right now currently looking for a job, but he's welcome to live with us until he finds a job. And even after he finds a job, until he's married, and then he can go find a place on his own and live. But that's one of the things that is beautiful about being an Arab from the Middle East, is the cultural aspect that in the family unit is so strong.
A lot of people have this idea, due to the Western media, that Arab women are suppressed and controlled and they're not allowed to do anything and they have no rights.
Yes. So again, I mentioned, I guess, earlier in the beginning that Muslim women are very well protected in Islam in terms of their rights. So, for example, women can work. Let's just take an example, and it was an example. There are many examples of this, but the Prophet Muhammad actually married a businesswoman, and she was his senior. She was older than him, I think, by 20 years. 20 years older, very wealthy, very shrewd businesswoman. And he married her, and her money stayed her money, and his work stayed his work, and she could decide if she wanted to spend her wealth on him or not. So it was an example that women can have bank accounts, they can work, and what they earn is theirs, and they don't have to contribute to the household unless they want to. It's their choice. So all of this crap about, oh, women's rights are suppressed is not true, and that's just that's again Western mythology, and taking an example that maybe is part of culture, not part of religion, and trying to apply it to everyone blanket across. So again, even the choice to cover myself, that's a choice. It's preferred, just like nuns are preferred to be veiled, and just like priests are preferred. Also, they're pretty much veiled. They don't, wear anything that's revealing as well. And it has no indication whatsoever on my spiritual faith or anything at all. It's a choice that we make. So,
Wow.
but maybe cultural differences might say that, oh, for example, some men don't like their women to work, but that's an agreement you reach with your husband.